Okay, so the last video I made on obscure punctuation marks randomly got way too many views overnight, but this is a hobby channel and I don't care about views or retaining an audience. So I'm going to talk about a 25-year-old fighting game. If you want actual highly edited content, you can go to my main channel. I'll have a card up for it up there or something. But for now, we're going to be talking about Third Strike, baby. This game is great, but you know what's not great? Rolling Thunder. Rolling Thunder. Rolling Thunder is one of those bad supers in this game that I never really hear anybody talk about. You know, it's not like one of those funny meme supers like Q's self-destruct or Makoto's weird, like, install rage super. It just kind of like, yeah, don't pick that one. Pick SA1 or 3. Don't pick the second one. And I was like, why is that? Because I main Dudley in this game, and I always wondered, like, well, what's actually wrong with it? And then I actually sat down in training mode for, like, an hour, and I tried to find anything that it was good at, and I was amazed at how bad it was. So in order to understand why SA2 is so bad, we're going to have to look at Dudley's other two supers, and the actual good ones. So let's start off with Corkscrew Blow's SA3. This is the one that I mainly use, and it is a very common kind of style super in this game. It's like an all-rounder kind of super. Dudley does this big punch. It's active like immediately. It's startup 0 up there. It does okay damage, you know, pretty good damage for a super, like decent. And it is also invulnerable on frame 1, making it a pretty good reversal, especially if someone is trying to meaty you after you've been knocked down. Look at the hitbox. It extends pretty far in front of him and also above him, which means that you can even be used to anti-air. It also has 3 bars. Supers in this game can have multiple stocks, and that is really important for Dudley because one of his most important combo tools is an EX move, his EX machine gun blow. I keep almost saying machine gun upper. What character is machine gun upper? What is that? There, that's it. Machine gun upper. Blow. Why do I keep doing that? This is basically the foundation of Dudley's whole combo game, and it enables him to do the real core of his combos, which are these big, long juggling sequences. How did I miss the last hit? Now, SA3 can be really easily worked into one of these juggle combos by just tacking it on at the end. So now we're all the way in the corner. I did a little bit of extra damage. I got a hard knockdown. And that leads me into the second great thing about SA3. So Dudley's whole design is that he is a boxer, right? He has these great long-reaching normals that allow him to get a lot of stray hits. He controls space very well in front of him and like above the waist in that kind of area. And then once he gets the opponent a good opening with like a strong starter like stand heavy kick, he gets to do these big juggle combos over into the corner, knock them down, throw the rows, and then he gets to run an overhead low mix-up. He's got forward heavy kick, this overhead that they have to block standing, and crouching heavy kick, this juggle, this like big scoop move. I don't know what... Do they teach this in boxing? So his SA3 can be linked after his overhead, which is good, and also knocks them down for another rose throw into the same mix-up. And then if you get the scoop, really easy, good damage. Like, look at how much damage that does. Again, into another hard knockdown, still in the corner, throw the rose again, and he just goes and goes and goes and just vortexes you. Gets to doesn't even have to go overhead or low. He can just use the God button, go up for a throw. Like it really ties a lot of his, it just makes the things that he's good at, like, even better. Is this just kind of vortexing, swirling offense that just continuously leads into itself. And it makes him like, it's part of the whole package that makes him like a real monster. It's not integral to his gameplay. It's not a super that's like integral, like a core part of the character, like someone like a Yun or a Chun-Li of this game. But it makes him a really well-rounded character. It gives him utility because of the way that it can be used as a reversal with the invincibility. It can just be tagged on to so many combos at the end. It's just really good, and it gives him a lot of super to work with because he has some really good EX moves, like, of course, EX Machine Gun Blow or his EX Uppercut. SA1 is pretty similar. It's a Rocket Uppercut. So obviously a big uppercutting super that shares many strengths with SA3, but it does have a couple weaknesses that are more like it takes in exchange for other things that it sort of specializes into. So just for example, it's not great at converting mid-screen. It tends to drop. Yeah, so you kind of have to hit this thing in the corner, but when you do, hot damn, that is a lot of damage. And again, it knocks down, it's invulnerable on startup, it is also instantly active. Frames startup 0. And it doesn't give, I don't think it gives him quite as much bar to work with. It might actually be equivalent, I'm not sure how the math works out. But it can carry up to 2 stocks, which again is important because it means that he can use it in the same combo as this. It dropped because I wasn't close enough to the corner. The invincibility means that it can be used as a reversal, although it is a lot more committal, being a big uppercut super. That's basically the trade-off. It's a little more committal, it's a little less universal in its application, but you get a lot of damage for it, and that is kind of like that's the trade-off that you're making when you pick it. It makes him really, really scary, especially in the corner. So, again, still keeping him as a well-rounded character, just kind of enhancing something that he's already good at. So with that being said, what about Rolling Thunder? So Rolling Thunder is a slightly weird move. This is the move just on its own. He rushes forward and does a couple hits, but there's some weird, like, controllable aspects to the super. So for instance, if you do the input and then hold forward and all 3 punches. Not like that. He does another rush forward. And then the really important one is, if you just keep mashing punch, you'll get 4 extra hits and so much damage. Look at all that damage. And that's really the main bonus of Super Art 2. The pros are, it does a lot of damage. And the cons are literally everything else. So to start off with, the biggest problem, it's 1 bar. It's 1 bar. That means that you cannot use it in the same combo as EX Machine Gun Blow. I missed it again. Why am I... So you're like, okay, well, I can't use it in the big meter dumping combo. What if we did an alternate route mid-screen, maybe? Whoa, oh. Okay, fine. So that one didn't work. Why don't we let's just take out the ducking upper. Let's just do scoop into SA2. Oh. So Dudley's SA2 doesn't juggle properly. It is just not programmed to have any kind of vacuuming effect. It always knocks them away. And that creates a lot of problems. Remember how I said that, so both of his other supers, I neglected to mention this in SA1, but yeah, it can also combo off of both his overhead and his low very easily. Just swap it out. Just literally just swap it out. You can do the exact same things that you can with SA2. Well, what if you hit your low scoop in the corner? Nope. Let's, yeah. Well, oh, we got 2 hits of it. Okay, cool. For, like, nothing and my entire bar. So now I'm out of meter. I can't use my good reversal. I can't use my main combo starter. All right, okay, so it's like not useful mid-screen because it's so incredibly committal. And it's not useful in the corner because it doesn't complement your corner Oki at all. It doesn't complement your juggle, your combo structure at all. What is it useful for then, you might be asking? I don't know, man. Like single hit confirms? Woo! Yeah, so cool. So cool that you can do that. So cool that it leaves you, that mid-screen, it leaves you like an entire screen length away and completely resets neutral for a character who has no projectiles. That is so useful and cool. Thank you for all that big damage that you did, Rolling Thunder. I don't even know if you can technically combo it off of your overhead. I've tried for like 30 straight minutes to try to get it to link. It's either a one-frame link or it's completely impossible. At which point, why? Why ever use it? It's boring, but it's not boring in like a funny way. Again, like not like one of those weird other supers in the game that are just like, I don't know, make Q blow himself up. Make 12 turn into the opponent character. It's just a worse version of Dudley that is less well-rounded and can't get as much reward off of the things that he's really good at doing, and doesn't even help him at things that he's not as good at doing. Nor is it very interesting. It's not a very interesting super, despite the fact that it's like, oh, it's a cool move. It's like the classic Dempsey roll. Hajime no Ippo. And it has just basically no useful situation. There's no situation where this super is a good idea. Like, into any character, in any even hyper-specific scenario, it just really does nothing for him. It's a move that really has no business being on Dudley. Like, sometimes you'll see it compared to Ken Shippujinrai, which is one of the best supers in the game, just because of sort of the way that they're designed. But that's because Ken is a character who's built around grounded combos. And also that super can hold 3 stocks and he gets it off of everything. So that's why I say that it's a bad super on the wrong character. Now, with all that being said, how could it be improved? So its biggest problem is, in my opinion, a significant lack of identity beyond its range and damage. I'm not even talking about like the balance or anything. I think that like conceptually the way the move works has a problem. There's a couple ways that you could approach balancing it, therefore, to make it fit in better with him as a character. So the first would obviously be to make it juggle properly and usable in his juggles by you could make it multiple stocks. You could make it like 2 stocks. 3 is probably too much. That would be the simplest thing, but it also causes overlap with his other supers, and it doesn't do much to fix the overall kind of lack of unique purpose as an option for a Dudley player. So I have another idea. I wrote notes down. To me, the most notable thing about Rolling Thunder is its range. With that extra dash input, it goes full screen really fast. It reminds me a lot of Chun-Li's SA2, like, the devil. So here's my proposed rework to Rolling Thunder. Keep it at 1 stock. Lower the damage. Boost the stun. Give it invulnerability below the knees. And 3 different ranges based on button strength, which is a thing that SA3 has, depending on which button you press to activate it. It goes further or shorter. Then, on hit, instead of a knockdown, have the final uppercut launch the opponent for a juggle. My vision for this super is that by taking it, you are forgoing Dudley's EX machine gun juggles for a primo with punishing tool that would also give him another option against his biggest weaknesses, which is low pokes. Dudley as a character is designed around controlling the space again in front of his body, right? But not down here, not below the knees. And a lot of his worst matchups are characters who can clip him in this area and control this space down here that he is not adept at putting any limbs out in. Giving it that little bit of invulnerability, I don't think that would make it super way too good, because it wouldn't invalidate one of his it wouldn't completely invalidate one of his core weaknesses, because it is so committal. Again, it's 1 bar, and I don't know, you could make it punishable on block or easily parryable. So if the Dudley player misuses it, it's kind of like a high risk, high reward kind of move. Then once you hit them, you do a bunch of stun to them. It wouldn't be like a Ryu's like Denjin Hadoken or Alex's stun gun headbutt. Like, it wouldn't be instant stun, but it would put them 1 or 2 interactions from stun, which would lead to yet another combo. So you could whiff punish with this, go in, you'd get that final juggling hit, do a little juggle afterwards, so it would be like more of a combo starter than a combo ender. And then they're like 1 interaction away from getting stunned, which obviously, you know, you're going to follow up again after. That makes it more of a bet the farm kind of super. You're going for high damage, but whiffing it will leave you with no bar for your EX moves, where your cheapest invincible reversal is. And I think that's fair for a move that can mostly only be confirmed off of single hits. I also find the stun-based strategies in this game really interesting because of the natural ebb and flow created by the stun bar decaying over time. The opponent is forced to kind of change up their decision making based on how close they are to being stunned, and then it creates these sort of pendulum swinging moments in the game when someone is really close and someone else might become tunnel visioned on stunning them. And I think that stuff is cool. Basically what I'm saying is that in a game with Makoto, I don't think having another kind of stun-based super is too out there. And it gives it something wholly of its own in Dudley's kit. It is not necessarily making him well-rounded. Honestly, I don't even think it would be that good, but he would at least be something different. And you would have some reason to pick it, or at least experiment with it, which I think is maybe even more important than being like competitively viable. So what do you think? Is SA2 actually busted? It's not. But what do you think? Is my rework crazy? What would you do to fix this move? Let me know down below, and check out my main channel for actual high effort content about obscure and interesting video game topics, which I guess this also kind of is. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go take a shower.